So for today, I pulled these cards: Nine of Clubs, the Nine of Spades, the Eight of Clubs, and the Queen of Clubs. So a lot of clubs cards apparently. And there's also something peculiar because there was a deck that was really really calling to me, and yeah, it's kind of peculiar, right? So because it's also the cover image of this deck, and it says the star, so maybe there's something about this is the water bear, so it has something to do with potentially Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius, they say, right? And there's something maybe here as well about number 17, healing, and the idea of destiny, right? So the healing of destiny could be something that is happening. And maybe also with this moon, it could have something to do with the release of the age of Aquarius, whatever that is. So let's see. Um, yeah, so let's go into this. So what does this card represent to me? It means that you are finding happiness pretty much outside of the world, right? So it's just you finding happiness away from the world in and of itself, worldly validation, people. This is a little bit like maybe you could see it potentially even as a hermit mode today, like being happy in a hermit mode kind of style, kind of lifestyle. Definitely away from this happiness being dependent upon other people. So that's what we're seeing here. And then we have the Nine of Spades that goes with that. This tells me that also when it comes to your mind, you're also there very, very independent in the way you think. So it's like you get to think your own thoughts, you get to be very independent in the way you think, freedom in the way you think, in combination with freedom from the world, worldly approval, worldly happiness. So this is a happiness that doesn't come from people, and it's also a happiness that where you get to be very independent in the way you think. So it could be that you are experiencing freedom from other people, freedom from manipulation, freedom from the thoughts of other people. Maybe you're also not no longer picking up on telep you're no longer telepathically picking up on people potentially as well. So it's like yeah. So you're not picking up on people's thoughts anymore. You're not receiving telepathic thoughts from other people. You're not influenced by the world. You're not seeking worldly approval. You find your happiness within yourself, away from the world, away from worldly approval. You are able to think your own thoughts. You're not manipulated by people. Therefore, you can think your own thoughts, right? Um, yeah. That's what this is pretty much talking about, a freedom of mind that comes from not needing approval from other people. So, this also means that you have the freedom to creatively express yourself the way you want to express yourself away from the world because you're not dependent upon worldly approval, and you get to think your own thoughts, right? You get to move freely, you get to communicate freely as well. Um, so let's see, and this is usually my obstacle card because in the third position, usually an obstacle appears, but not always. So let's see. So the Eight of Clubs. This to me says that there is some kind of a change in the way you in experience happiness and what makes you happy potentially. So there are other things that make you happy, but this is a challenge. So this kind of makes me think that you may want to stick to what you are doing because if like there is something inside of you that is like I would like to because actually you're kind of happy, right? So that's why I'm saying this. So it's kind of like here you are already very happy, you're very independent. And you would say like okay, and that's a good thing if you are so independent, if you're thinking so independently, and you get to express yourself so independently away from the world and these kinds of things, right? There's a lot of freedom there, also freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom in and of itself, like in terms of inner peace, right? But then you have a change in the way you experience happiness. So this means that there is a part of you inside that may want to change things, although you're actually happy. So this sounds very much like a self-sabotaging kind of energy, right? Because this is going really, really well. Yeah, because you are already very happy in and of itself, right? You're already able to move freely. So why would this become a challenge, right? Like you would say logically, this would be, oh well, then we're just gonna flow with change, right? Because we're independent, we get to be free, so we just flow with change. But since this is an obstacle, it means that there is a self-sabotaging energy here because it must be something that is an internal struggle or of some kind, because there is a part of you that, like most of you, is happy, most of you is independent, and there is this part of you that wants to change things. So it makes me think like a self-sabotager kind of vibe. And then we have this. So practically, I would say don't change anything. Just keep doing what you're doing because um, you're on the right path and you shouldn't change things because this is more like self sabotage, wherever this is coming from, right? And then we have the Queen of Clubs, and the Queen of Clubs is the underlying energy. So she is very open to being happy, right? So, which is really peculiar because it's like, what is this, right? Because if you are, this is looking so great, you're also very open to being happy. So, being very open to being happy is not a self-sabotaging energy, right? So it could be, for example, that you may be telepathically not picking up on other people's thoughts, but it could be that you are empathically picking up on other people's emotions, because this might be that pretty much. Because I don't think that someone who is very open to being happy is going to self-sabotage themselves on a deeper level or even has desire to do so. This and this does not equate this, right? This is an off card, a card that shouldn't be there, right? So it means like every time I see a card that shouldn't be there, it means that there is some kind of influence, right? In terms of empathic influence or telepathic influence. In this case, this would be an empathic influence. So you may want to, for example, clear your energy field in terms of the emotions from other people. Um, and see. And then this next layer, we're going to look at the Kabbalistic way of seeing things. Very curious. Okay. Um, so we have again the subconscious, right? The nine in my way of seeing the Kabbalistic tree of life is the subconscious. So, which makes a lot of sense because we have two times a subconscious card because there's something happening in the subconscious, it seems. Because I'm seeing that through this card, right? There's something brewing, something of I want to change things slash self-sabotage that is blooming in in the subconscious realm. Now we have to see why. So let's see. So we have on the yeah, again, it doesn't make sense because the nine of clubs would suggest that you are on a subconscious level, even there you are happy. So on a deeper level you are happy, so it doesn't make sense that you would self-sabotage because even in the inner realm, because this shows me the layer of the inner realm, there is everything is peaceful, there's nothing going on, there are no inner conflicts or whatever. So there shouldn't be, this card shouldn't be there. This is an empathic influence. And then we have this one here. So this also thing talks about your subconscious thoughts as well. So even it's not just the way you feel subconsciously, but it's also the way you think subconsciously. Like nothing is going on there. Everything is smooth, fine, nothing going on. So this is a very peculiar card. This is a warning almost. This is the intellect. In the Kabbalistic tree of life, this is the intellect, this is the mind. The mind is seeking to change things up. So that's actually what's happening. The mind seeks to change things up. But this is not the subconscious, this is not your soul, this is pure mind. The mind, just intellectual thought that wants to change things. But it's not a telepathic thought. So this kind of suggests overthinking, maybe. But I don't think it's the closest thing to it, but I don't think this is it either. Because your subconscious thought is peaceful. This would have to be conscious thought in and of itself. These are not telepathic thoughts. Something peculiar about this card. And it's also a clubs card. It's like your mind is thinking about happiness. Your mind is thinking about happiness, and that's why it wants to change things. It seeks to become more happy while it actually is happy, which is very peculiar. Very peculiar. Let's see. And then we have this Queen of Clubs to go with that. She would be number 13 in this system, right? So so first there was nothing, then there became something. See? And we're in the realm of I am, right? This is where you are becoming a person, becoming an identity. You're starting to understand the identity that you are becoming. So it seems like you are starting to understand the identity that you're becoming. So you are starting to see how your being is flowing towards a new state of being, a new way of being, a new identity, a new I am. That's what this is. And maybe that's what you're picking up on here. That's why you're all of a sudden having different desires. It has probably to do not with, so apparently this is not empathically picking up on something. You're not telepathically picking up on something, you're not empathically picking up on something. Nothing is happening in your subconscious or your deep inner stirrings of your soul. No, this is coming from, must be the divine realm where this is coming from, right? Because it's coming outside of you. And there is like, you are all of a sudden understanding that things need to change because of the person you are becoming. That's what this is. And then let's see. In this last layer, I'm going to look at the more like the elemental way of seeing things. I'm going to drink a little bit of coffee. The elemental way of seeing things. So we have already established the idea of that you are very happy outside of the approval of other people, just happy subconsciously, everything's fine, you're happy. Um, so subconsciously, you're very fine. And this is a fire. So your fire is contained. Again, I see this. Your fire is contained. It is not a fire that is seeking. It's not seeking to destroy or seeking to self-sabotage or seeking anything pretty much. So it's just happy and content. So this is not coming from yourself, as you can see, right? And then we have here this idea also like mentally, everything is peaceful. You're not picking up on telepathic thoughts from other people. Um, Subconsciously, there are no thoughts or something going on, and this is air energy. This means to me, like, if you see it as like spreading seeds being carried with the wind. And they are definitely very independent. If there would be if something changed in terms of thinking, like your mind is kind of like an open breeze, you could say, an open field. Like you could imagine it as like if you would like open the windows of your mind and like just wind flows through your mind. That's kind of the image of this card. Like you just have an open mind, a fresh breeze that goes through your mind, fresh thoughts. It's very open and very, very peaceful. Just like when you open the windows in a very clean room, right? And if there would be thoughts, these would be very innovative thoughts, likely, very, because they're very independent, right? Very independent thoughts. So they're probably very, uh, and also because you are receiving in the receiving station, right? So you are very much open to receiving thoughts. And if a thought would come in, would flow through that window, it would likely be a very innovative thought. Let's see, or a download of some kind. Now we have this one here. So here we have this idea of your mind. Where you were picking up on your new identity, right? So you feel like you're supposed to change things, which is quite kind of challenging as well. So this is not something you would normally do, but you are picking up on it. You're very content too, right? Very content. This is not something you would normally do, but you are maybe also because of this very much open to receiving your new identity pretty much. And what needs to change to create this new identity? It must be moving you towards happiness too. See, and then we have this one here. So this would be you're very open to becoming happy, right? You're not in your own way, pretty much. So you're not in your own way. You are becoming a new you with the 1 and 3, right? You're becoming a new you. And it is the fire element. So you are becoming a new you, and it's like it's a burning fire, right? So it could be as you're becoming a new you, this could potentially destroy certain things in your life, or it could create things in your life. It's more like because everything is so peaceful, I would say more like a creative energy. So you are open to creating a new forming, creating, changing things in your life in order to accommodate this transition towards the new you, pretty much. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. So I'm wishing you a very beautiful day ahead, and I hope this was helpful. Bye bye.